Okay. It's episode 209 of the Platformers, a show about nerds and games and culture and all that sort of stuff. I am your host, Brian Barnett.
I'm Joshua Mobley.
I'm Chris Shriver.
And I am a sweaty Spartan boy this week.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
So
a couple
much
of things.
Halo.
Yeah, I played. I played so very much Halo. I played between 50 and 60 hours of Halo this week.
That's a lot.
That
It is a lot.
That's not how long the campaign is, though, for the people out there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you would expect from a Halo game as far as length is concerned. But we will get into all of that later. And for those who don't really want to know anything about Halo and just want to go in unprepared and unawares, we're gonna be sensitive to that, and I'll definitely give kind of my impressions of it, like my overall thoughts and my review now that the embargo is up, and then I'll give people who really don't want to know anything other than like the overall quality. I will let you guys know, and then I will vaguely discuss the things that I liked and did not like about it and that sort of thing.
Cool.
But we can do that a bit later. Chris, before we started, you were telling a little story about something you were going to buy.
So we have the standard Blue Yeti microphone that we record
Chris
with.
and I,
Yeah,
Josh
and I.
Josh upgraded.
I do. I have one. It's down there, but
Yeah.
I don't use it anymore.
But I mean, we've been using this microphone since we started the show. I mean, it's 5 years old.
Yeah.
5+ years old at this point.
Mine was like eight
Yeah.
to 10 years old. I was like, I should just get a new.
And they've served us well.
Yeah.
One of the earliest
Yeah.
compliments we ever got on the show was that the audio quality is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something I've always kind of prided us on.
For like a consumer level microphone.
Yeah.
Like Yetis are really good, and
Well,
they're not that expensive.
That's just it, especially for what we paid for it. Like we've definitely gotten more than our money's worth, but
We all got them like in that sale where they were like $90 or something, right?
Yeah. So
I got mine as a birthday present.
oh man, you
Well,
really did.
la-di-da.
Yeah.
But I think it was on sale for like 120, but it was I got mine I think like a little bit before you guys started your show.
Yeah.
So it's around the same.
So there's a Yeti X Pro condenser microphone that they make that's supposed to be, it's smaller, and apparently the sound quality is better than the one that we have. And it was $100. It's normally $200, but it was at Best Buy. There was a catch though. It might still be on sale. I don't know. But the catch was it is black and gold, and it has the World of Warcraft logo on it.
You can always put a sticker over it.
That's basically what I was thinking of doing. And it was like, it was going to take like 3 or 4 days to get to Best Buy. And like, I woke up the next morning and I was like, I really don't need this. Like, I think if I'm going to upgrade my microphone, like I'm going to upgrade it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? And I just canceled the order, but
That's what I did. When I upgraded, I just Googled around like what are the best USB microphones and found this Rode NT one, and I went, all right.
yeah,
It's like weirdly around the same price as a Yeti. So I would assume it's comparable. I think it sounds better, but I don't know.
I think you sound like trash. Not really.
Well, sorry,
I
God.
don't mean that at all. I think he sounds great.
Oh
I think
God.
it sounds about the same, but like Discord compression is a thing.
Yeah, Discord also compresses stuff.
Yeah,
I would say my VO on my video sounds a lot better.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I do need to. I'm gonna have to adjust it though. This is the last time I'm recording in this room. I'm gonna be in my office now.
Wow.
In my house next week, so I'm gonna have to like do a bunch of adjustments and see, because it's gonna be all different acoustically and stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
A whole new world.
A whole new
stuff, man.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff to fix inside the house.
Speaking of like house stuff, I've spent like there have been cold fronts here in Houston, and so I've spent like a lot of time outdoors, a lot more time because like it's typically so hot, and working full time, I can't really go outdoors during the day because I'm working. I mean, I could like take breaks and stuff like that, but like we're potty training Riley right now, so it's kind of all hands on deck
Yeah.
at the moment, and it's a lot of
Watching
of
her
work.
like a hawk, basically.
Yes, watching her like a hawk all day. When Odd works at the hospital 2 days a week, and we're both working full time. It's a lot. But I've been spending a lot more time outdoors, and I've picked up skating again, skateboarding. So I've been like out, out in the front and skateboarding and practicing my ollies again, doing like flip tricks and like body varials and like.
I
different
assume you
things
have
like those.
good pavement there where you are.
Yeah.
Because where I used to live when I was growing up, we had really good streets. Because it was like it's not a small town, but it was a small suburb around like bigger suburbs. And the small suburb town I lived in, like a lot of the tax money went to paving the streets because it wasn't very big. And so we had really good pavement and streets and stuff. So if you were skateboarding, like it was great. But then you would go to the next town over and it'd be like awful. And when I moved up to Marin a couple years ago, and then I don't live there anymore. But when I lived there, I had bought a skateboard off this kid at a garage sale because I was like, oh, I haven't had one in a long time. And I tried skating there, and it was like, nope. The pavement over there is freaking terrible. It was just impossible to do. So I haven't skateboarded in, I don't know, a decade.
Imagine
It's
trying
a really
to do
long
it
time.
in the Philadelphia suburbs where we get snow every year and
Yeah.
the plows dig up the road. And, like,
You basically have to go to a
there's
skate
always
park.
potholes.
So it's my immediate vicinity is quite good, but my surroundings are not great. So we live in one of those like little areas where like we have a neighborhood driveway.
Mhm.
So like to the street. And so that area is great. Super smooth, very new, really nice. Only like a handful of cars drive up and down it. And other than that, like it's just like very good and nice. The problem is instead of grass, all of the like front yards and side yards are like just bunches of gravel, and it gets out on the road all over. So I basically have to like sweep it all the time.
So you're like a wind surfer.
Yeah.
Kind of. But my skate, I don't have small hard wheels on my skateboard. I have basically like longboard wheels on my skateboard. And I have both a longboard and a shortboard. I've been skating on the shortboard lately because like I want to do tricks and I can't really do them on my longboard because it's like it's way
The
too heavy.
longboard. It's huge.
Yeah, it's longboard. I mean, you can do tricks on it, but it's all like footwork
Not the same.
related.
Yeah, it's not the
It's
same.
it's not like flip tricks or anything like that. So I've been getting my sea legs back, and then I've started working on getting my ollie height back, which is good. It feels good, and being able to like smoothly move around. Riley's been getting into it. Like she's been like she'll say dough, which is like her version of like please, like this. Can I have this? She'll like point to the skateboard and say dough. And then she'll like run over to it, and she'll like step up onto the skateboard and all that sort of stuff. And she wants me to like hold her hands and like go over. So like I'm just like pulling her around on the skateboard down the road, or like I'll have her like get on her knees and stuff, and I'll like push her, or we'll both sit down on it together and like we'll scoot along, or we'll have Audrey like pull or push us around. And it's just great. Like she's got her own little helmet, and it's been very fun.
That's all.
Give it a couple years, she's gonna be like leaving you in the dust.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I'm
She's
ready
like one
for
of
it.
the kids from Rocket Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a show.
But yeah, and that's been a lot of fun. So that's what I've been up to when I've been outside. I finally nabbed a bicycle. So that's coming in like a couple of days, and then I'm gonna go down to our local bike shop. They're gonna like build it, and then they're gonna like size it for me, and then I'll have a nice street bike that I can go kind of cruise around on.
That's awesome.
And a cool thing is I haven't had a bike since, I don't even know, we were doing the show at this point where like but it was years and years ago. It would have been very shortly after we started the show when my bike got stolen out
I
of our
remember that.
apartment
Mine
complex.
also got
Yeah.
stolen, and that's the last time I had a bike.
That same. I have not had a bike in years and years and years.
Wow.
Like 5 or 6 years it's been for me. I rode my bike to my job at TJ Maxx one morning, and I locked it up, and I came out after my 4-hour shift, and it was just fucking gone.
Wow.
Haven't had a bike since. I'm gonna buy one soon though. I want one.
There was bike racks. In our apartment complex, and we all had locked gates leading to all of it and all that stuff. And I like locked it up like firmly through the frame and all that sort of stuff. And like I just came out and it was just gone.
Wow.
Yeah, someone just cut my chain and just took it.
That's all it takes. If you have bolt cutters, that's it. What did you end up getting, Bri?
I ended up getting it's a little pricier, but like I want something nice and I want something that's gonna last. And I was talking to one of the guys at my shop, and I think it's gonna be, and it ends up being I think it's my birthday present and my Christmas present combined from Odd.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a Marin Fairfax 3.
Ooh.
Cool. So Delaney on Twitter and I talked about, I like put out a call of like, hey, like who knows some bikes, because like I need to get one, and basically like what I was looking for and things like this. And let me see if I can find it.
I'm not looking to do tricks. I just want a bike again to bike places around where my...
Yeah, I mean, I would ride mine to my old job, but it's I can't wait to have a garage, like a house with a garage. Like the way ours are stored. It's in our like utility closet on the first floor, and it's like I have to like weave it out the door, and then like I'm like hitting the walls the entire time I'm doing it, and like it makes all this noise. My neighbor like bitches at me, and like it's such a hassle to the point where I just like 9 times out of 10 I'm like, I should ride the bike today. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Thankfully I have a backyard at my new place, so and there's
awesome.
like overhang areas, so I'll probably just, when I get a bike, probably just keep it under there.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Mark Delaney, who's a guides editor over at GameSpot, somebody added him in my tweet, and he was like, yeah, I've got a Marin Fairfax 2 and I love it. And I was talking about like pulling, like we've got this little pod that Riley can sit in that we can pull behind the bike, and it attaches to Odd's bike like fine. And then I also like, we have a it's not that far away, there's like 5 or 10 minutes away, there's like a huge grocery store that we go to get our stuff. And I was thinking, if we've got something minor, like I could just pop a basket on my bike and like just go get it that way instead of driving.
I'm definitely getting the bike basket.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because I'm going to go get like food and stuff on the bike or whatever. I'm not putting it in my backpack or whatever. I'm going to put that. I'm getting the basket. I don't care. People can laugh at me all I want.
He was saying that this has like dedicated mount positions for all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, hell yeah, let me get that. So it's supposed to be pretty light. It's supposed to be made of like really nice metal. I think it's got like a carbon fiber fork and like nice solid disc brakes, so you can do like one finger braking. So I'm pretty amped about it. And our local bike shop is like really great. So they've always taken really good care of us. They do like really reasonably priced like reworks of like, we had Audrey's bike in storage for a long time, and when we moved I was like, okay, this thing is like really messed up, like it's kind of rusty and all this sort of stuff. So we took it in for a very reasonable price. They like totally tuned it up and reworked it and everything and got it in really good working order. So, and like one of the guys that works there has been like in the bicycle business for like over 20 years, and I'm like, all right,
nice.
Tell me what's up, dude. So yeah.
So
I'm just waiting for that to come in for them to build that for me.
I bought mine last year, and I think I spent like $550 on it. I just went on. I have a Trek Verve 3 disc, because fun fact, if you are a heavier person like myself, it is incredibly difficult to find a bike that you can actually ride and that will support your weight. typically anything over 200 pounds, like you have a hell of a time finding a bike that is going to support that much weight. So, or 225. So I'm a little over 250. And I think I spent $550 on this thing. Now it's $930
Wow.
for the new model, which I guess it's because of COVID. I don't know, but like that's insane to me. I can't believe it cost that much.
One of the guys was saying that it's like really hard for them to get this particular
It's
bike
hard for them to get
brand
anything right
in.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It's pretty wild.
the
Yeah,
shop that I had got mine from, I had reached out to them one day and I was like, this is what I'm looking for. And they were like, we haven't had that in months. And a week later they called me and they were like, somehow we have the exact bike that you want.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Shipment stuff right now is nuts.
Yeah.
Just I have stuff I ordered in August, still hasn't shipped.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Pretty wild.
Someday.
And I have no idea. Basically that was one of the big purchases, and then the other thing is like I'm just trying to get this graphics card and I have no idea when that's going to happen. So
you gotta join all the groups.
Yeah, Nvidia's queue is your best bet. They have they have a queue that you can sign up for on their site where you go, at least they used to. I know they keep stopping it every now and then if they if they're over allocated, and then they'll open it back up. But basically you go in and make an account, register, and you pick the cards that you're interested in buying. And then they'll notify you saying, hey, you have 24 hours to buy this card. Like one of the ones that you've selected is in stock. You can get it directly from them. But that's been the only way that was the way how I got both my cards. A buddy of mine got.
Well, I'll definitely do that then.
Yeah, a buddy of mine got one. But I mean, it took I registered in the queue, and then it took 6 months.
It kind of sucks.
That's
that's
insane.
But I got it. I got both of them.
But you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's better than oh, Best Buy has a drop. Oh, didn't get it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been looking just because I haven't really had the money to buy one. But I really want one. But again, it's just the act of going through all that just sounds exhausting. So I'm like,
yeah.
Do I really want to do that?
I really want this, and it's expensive, and I have the money to buy it, but you can't.
But you just can't. Yeah. That also too puts a damper on it, because it's I can't just buy it on a whim. It's something you have to really think about
try.
and really put an effort in.
Yeah.
And I'm but my graphics card still works, so it's do I really want to put the effort in?
Yeah. I've been thinking about that, but I am really excited to have a really powerful PC again, where my consoles aren't running circles around it.
Yeah.
I mean, not circles, but they're noticeably better. When I'm playing stuff on Series X and PS5, it is noticeably better than on my PC. But all the games that I want to play are on PC, so it's we talked about this before the consoles even came out, when I was do I even want to get a PS5 or whatever?
Yeah.
We had this stuff. So now I'm on the other side of that, where it's yeah. Probably should have bought one of those cards from you back then. But I don't even know if I had the cash.
Yeah. It sucks. Right before I got my job at EA and I didn't have money, an old friend of mine who I guess knows, one of his neighbors he games with occasionally, knows somebody and just gets cards occasionally. And he texted me and was yo, do you want to buy a 3080 or whatever for MSRP basically? And I was I'm tempted, but I'm still unemployed, right? So it's I can't really afford it. And then a week later, I got the job offer, and I'm so I'm hoping one day that
I'm at the point
he texts me again.
I'm done getting cards for people.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm done. Because I've had 4.
I mean, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't.
No, I'm going to, because I've had 4 occasions where between the two of you and 5 other people that I know were oh my god, I want one, and I somehow managed to get one. And as soon as I say what I paid for it, which is just what the store happened to sell it for, everyone's no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with me is every time someone has offered me one, it's always really bad timing. The one that you messaged me about, it was well, I'm literally in the process of moving and I have to buy a fridge and
No,
a
yeah.
dishwasher and like all
there's
these things. So it's
priorities.
like I can't really just go buy a graphics card. My wife will kill me, right? I have
Yeah.
all these other things we have to buy. So, but you know, I would still say don't try and get graphics cards for people.
No, I'm done doing
Just
it.
live your life.
Because I did several times, and every time everyone said they didn't want it. And then I get stuck losing money because I have to cancel an order or ship it back or whatever. And I'm like, I try to be nice. I try to do this thing, and then I end up losing money somehow in the end of it. But
Jeez. I mean, is that just how they combat bots or something? Like
yeah, part of
they
it
make
is
you pay fees and things?
well, like I have to pay shipping costs to ship it back if it's something that I order online. You know, I mean that's been the main thing. Like I've had cards show up and then I'm like, well, shit, nobody wants this thing.
Mm,
But
that makes sense. But oh well,
Brian,
your
you
days,
should
your
just
days
get
are over.
you should just get a pre-built. Like
I have enough money for the card. I don't have enough money for the pre-built
you
yet.
just need to save for it then. Like that
Yeah,
makes the most sense for you.
Here's the thing. Over the next couple of months, my fun money is just gonna keep building up. And if I can't get a dedicated card by the time I have enough money to buy a pre-built, then I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like there's not anything else that I'm gonna get because it is even more expensive to get the type of TV that I want. And like I'm not thinking that that's gonna be happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
So this is like the next thing for me is like specifically upgrading my graphics card so that like my PC experience is gonna be good.
Yeah.
And then the thing after that is like Steam Deck. So
Yeah, I still have my Steam Deck and I'm gonna play it and for a little bit, maybe like a week
cannot
and see
wait,
how I
dude.
feel. But if I am not super, I don't know, enamored with it, I will probably get rid of it because I can probably get more money than I paid for it.
Probably. Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel. But I'm like I'm gonna keep it and we'll see what happens.
the only thing that I'm thinking about with that is like how are the ergonomics? That's literally the only thing that I'm thinking about.
This thing is heavy as
Sure.
hell. Like,
Sure, but the thing I need to know is
this is the
it
move.
gonna be comfortable in my hands?
This is the move, right? You're on the couch, maybe you got a recliner. You do one of these.
I gotta do okay. So what Chris is doing for audio listeners, he's leaning back in his chair. He's got a huge couch cushion leaning up against his chest, and then he's pulling his arms up and resting them on it while he plays. That's basically what I do now.
Yeah.
With the Switch and with the controllers because this is a thing that was recommended by like ergonomic specialists. If you have RSI, is like if you're playing something, put a pillow on your lap and rest your hands on that while you're playing, and it should like ease the tension. I've found that it works quite well.
I always just kind of have it like my hands out on my lap, not like suspended in air, mind you, but like.
Yeah.
Reminder: Josh hasn't been to a doctor in 2 decades, or an eye doctor. In 2
No,
decades.
an eye doctor.
Eye doctor in 2
I've been to my doctor.
Yeah, I misspoke.
Yeah, I've been to a doctor.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
I
I'll
haven't been
still
to an
make
eye
fun of him
doctor
for
in a
that,
very
even
long
though it's
time.
not
But
true.
the reason I didn't go is because like when I was a kid, like my dad uses reading glasses, my mom needs glasses, and my sister has glasses all the time, and they thought, oh, he's probably gonna need them. But like every time I'd gone to the eye doctor as a kid, they're like, no, his vision's totally fine. And I'd still felt like my vision's totally fine, but I had thought about it in recent years, like I haven't been to one in a really long time. Like I wonder if
I
like
feel
I'm like my dad, and in my old like as I get older, I'm gonna need reading glasses, right? It's like that's a very real thing that could happen, but I just haven't.
I feel like whenever
gone.
you do decide to go, and then they give you the glasses or whatever for the first time, you're gonna have this like, holy.
That's
shit.
the thing. A lot of my friends have glasses, and they've said that, and I've put all their glasses on, and I'm like, my eyes hurt so bad when I put their glasses on. I can't see jack shit. Like, my wife has reading glasses occasionally, and I've put hers on, and it's like the world becomes so like I rubbed Vaseline in my eyeballs. Like I can't see anything. I'm like,
That's the same way for
I
me.
assume my eyes are very good, but I don't know, right?
They very well could be.
Yeah.
I was in the same
I assume they
situation,
degrade, but yeah.
Yeah.
but I have astigmatism, so that's what this does for me. It
Mhm.
like helps like just crispen things up a little bit.
Crisp it
Mine
up.
are getting bad again. I can tell. I've noticed it in the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Just like certain text, I'll be like sitting here working, and then all of a sudden it gets really blurry, and I'm like, ugh.
I do notice that I have to focus harder, but it's only if I've been staring at a screen for so long.
Yeah.
So I do try to take a lot of screen breaks throughout the day because it's
I need to take more.
terrible to just stare at your screen all the time.
Every 20 minutes, you should spend 20 seconds looking at something at least 20 yards away. 20 seconds, dude. It's nothing.
Yeah, but if you're,
We should all be doing it.
we should be. Doesn't mean I do.
I want to set like a recurring alarm for 20 minutes, like to go off every 20 minutes and just be like, yo, look outside,
That's a
look out the
thing.
window, look at some tree.
Tomato.
Eventually,
timer.
you'll be like, "Shut up!"
Isn't that a thing? Isn't that what it's called?
Well, but tomato timer, like you'd have to set your loops for tomato timer to specifically be 20 minutes
Right.
or whatever. I guess I could do that. I guess I
isn't
could
that
loop it-
exactly what
loop
you
that
need?
way.
You're saying.
I mean, no,
what?
I do it like 25, 5, 25, 5, 25, 15 or something. Something like that. Like it's you can set up your loops however you want. But I do recommend tomato timers. It is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I think it's tomatotimers.com or like you can look up Pomodoro, stuff like that. It's really good.
Yeah.
I use
buddy.
that to work, but then sometimes it's like sometimes I go, oh my God, no. Should I say this? So I found out when I was doing capture, I did not find out during this game, but in a recent game that I was capturing for, I found out that capturing the PC window in this game that I was playing recorded and got the Pomodoro timer dings in it. So I had a Mitch Saltzman moment when he was, did you see the thing when he was doing the Nickelodeon
No.
All thing? And you could hear because his microphone picked it up in the background, like you could see he was like fighting SpongeBob or something like that, and he got knocked out, and then you could just hear in the background it was like punch, 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 punch. Mitch gets killed. Fuck! Like it's just like
Oh my God,
you could just hear it.
we've all had that experience. I had an experience where because we had to record at the like
We
correct
posted
frame
it on
rates.
Twitter if you want to like look back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to find
the-
it.
So good.
The equipment that I used to use when I was at IGN, you had to record at the correct frame rates, or else the audio and video would desync on your
wow.
recording. It's not like the Elgato stuff, which will like automatically sync it.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I've never had any problems with that on. I use
But-
Elgato stuff.
It was so frustrating. I played through half of Knights of the Old Republic at the wrong frame rate.
Oh my God.
Which meant
That's a
that
long-ass game, too.
once I finished it for all of the recording, I had to go back and replay the first half of the game at the correct
Wow.
frame rate. So that sucked. That happened all the time. Or you would record and you realized like it was in stereo. It was in like surround sound and not in stereo dual. So then your audio, you would only hear like the occasional thing, or like the voices would be super low and like in the background, and you're like, God damn it! Like I've recorded this demo like 8 times. Like that stuff was so frustrating.
Wow.
Many of us were just like, why don't we just use Elgato? Like I hate
Audrey
this
just
equipment.
texted me.
Yeah,
Audrey just texted me and was
he was like, use
said,
Are you
Elgato.
okay.
Wait, did you just yell fuck really loud? And I'm like, yes, I did. I was telling a story about it. Everything is fine.
She's like, great.
Yeah.
What did he do now?
I had
Yeah.
a moment where 2 jobs ago, I had to record a video for all of our students on how they can access like the student portal, and I was doing all I did to sync like the audio and the video, because like I had to record both of them separate at the time. I don't think I knew what I was doing, and I hit the Windows Start button, and I just hit like the up arrow, and like I started in the middle, and I was like up, down, up, fuck, up, down, and then I posted it to YouTube, and like 500 kids saw it.
I mean, you could edit that right on YouTube.
I
though.
did. That's exactly what
Yeah.
happened. But like my boss was the one that was like, "Is this published?" Because I sent it to him. He was like, "Is this published?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
You're like, oh,
"A lot
crap.
of people have seen this." I was like, "Oh no."
That is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that happen. We had that happen a lot. At IGN, you would do a video and you would forget to like the ins and outs on Premiere. You would forget that the out was way over here, and the video would end here, and then you would have like 15 minutes of just black, nothing. Then you'd post it, and people would be like, "There's literally 15 minutes of nothing at the end of this," and you're like, "God damn it!"
Yeah.
You had to go re-export, or you would do like you would accidentally hit the achievement or like the home button in the middle of something, and then you would forget to cut that out.
Yeah.
So then in the middle of the game, it would go like boom, like back to the PS4 or whatever, and then back in, and you forgot to cut it out, and you're like, that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah. Editing.
It's just
Yeah.
part of it's just part of it.
Yeah.
Everyone makes those mistakes. I feel like I make a lot less of them now, just being forged in the fires, yeah,
Mount Doom.
of making a lot of those mistakes. But yeah, everybody makes them. They're very funny though.
I have a question for you two.
Mm-hmm.
How so two things. Did you guys follow any of this Fortnite stuff that happened this weekend?
Nope. I was literally gone on my like honeymoon thing this weekend, so
And I
didn't
do
see
not care
nothing.
about Fortnite.
I don't care about Fortnite, but I might care about Fortnite.
Why? What did they do?
So
Did they put Banjo-Kazooie in it?
no. I almost said better, but nothing would be better.
I'm surprised. So surprised that they're not already in there.
I know. Literally everybody's in there at
Yeah.
this point.
Everyone is here. No, so their chapter 2 ended of Fortnite. It's like the end of like that, bundle of seasons. And at the end of it, you find out that like The Rock is like Dwayne Johnson is like one of the main characters in like Fortnite lore.
Sure.
Sure, I don't know any of it. But like that happened, and then they like flipped the island that season or chapter 2 like took place on. And then after that happened in New York City, in Times Square, they had up this like big banner, and it had all the letters to Fortnite, and it was connected together with like spider webs. And then they had like it had already leaked, but they officially announced that Spider-Man is going to be in chapter 3 when that starts. But it's just like
I'm surprised he's already not in the game. If
I am
I'm being
too.
frank.
Yeah, it's just cool,
Dude,
like,
Carnage is in it. So like,
Yeah.
how did they get Carnage in it before Spider-Man?
because Venom came out before Spider-Man.
Yeah, and
All
that game
marketing
is a
and
giant. That game is just a giant marketing
Yeah,
It's just a huge ad.
machine. Yeah.
but I just thought it was cool. I don't know,
Now I will say,
like the real
the
world.
the shooting in that game is good. I would probably play it if there was no building.
Yeah,
But
I've always said
that shit just really annoys me.
Yeah, because every
The,
time I think
the
I'm gonna
season structure on games really annoys me.
yeah
Yeah.
Harry goes, so is Spider-Man in Fortnite better than Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers?
It seems like actually
haven't
like
played-
the one
haven't
thing
played
I
it
have
yet.
seen is I've seen people talk about how like he feels better in Fortnite than he does in the Insomniac Spider-Man game, which seems insane to me.
Yeah, that's pretty wild if that's the case.
I don't know. I haven't played
like,
Spider-Man.
apparently-
I haven't played Spider-Man yet because my play group of which I play Marvel's Avengers with, my friend's PS5 broke, and he's still like almost a month later still waiting for Sony to send the replacement. And so like they launched Spider-Man, they launched the raid and everything, and we're like
Just sitting on your
waiting
hands,
to
waiting for
play,
it.
but we're like he'll be very upset if we play without him. So we're all just like
It's very big of you.
waiting. I feel bad for Nicole because she has already done it, so she's gonna have to sit there in silence while the three of us dumbasses are like, "What does this do?
Yeah.
How does this work?"
Yeah.
But yeah,
One
I
of the
look forward
things
to
that I saw people talking about is that like Spider-Man can like manually control his swinging in Fortnite. So like I think that's one of the things that people are talking about.
That's weird.
Interesting.
Like you can just like whip onto something and then just kind of like just swing around it, and like you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can just kind of like swing around.
I don't think there's anything in the world that would get me to play Fortnite again.
I don't like,
to be frank.
I think it's in the moment. Like, I was like, this is cool as hell. Like, I love the way that game, like, they have things in the real world that like come from that game and influence that game and things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't like the building aspect. It's just not my game. But I respect it. And I mean, I respect how big it is, honestly. I don't think it's, fun, but,
I thought it was
it's
fun when it first came out, but then it just...
I got a 100% win rate, and then I dipped.
Yeah, you played one game, I think, with me and Megan Sullivan.
Yeah.
And
No?
you won, and then you never played again.
I didn't play. Did I play with you and Megan?
I think you did.
Yeah, you guys did that for a hot minute.
I think you did.
Because when I popped in to like play the game on my own, it was like, hey, we're launching you into the tutorial mission, and then I beat that, and then I was like, yeah, I see it, and then I quit. You know what? I did play back in the day, because I remember like somebody built like this huge ramp into the sky.
Yeah, because we played the 50 on 50 mode.
Yeah, that's right.
People were building the giant
Holy
ramps so they could
Jesus,
fly
I
and stuff.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Shout
long
out to
time
Megan.
ago.
I haven't talked to
I
her.
know. I haven't talked to
ages.
Megan in a really long time. I hope she's doing okay.
She seems to be doing well on Twitter, and I wish her all the best.
Okay. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't think I would ever go back to Fortnite.
Why you don't need to, because Halo Infinite exists.
Well, and that's just it. Like, it's funny because I was like, all right, see, this season 3 is coming out. All right. Maybe I'll like dip a toe in, just see what it's about. And then I looked at the calendar and I was like, oh, Halo comes out this week. And I played the multiplayer for like 6 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
And The Witcher comes out in a week. And I still haven't watched Arcane.
Oh, season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched Arcane either.
Well, you got.
I'm not caught up on Hawkeye either. And I
Yeah,
haven't
Oh,
watched
last
Shang-Chi.
episode was very good.
I didn't see Shang-Chi. I only watched the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. Arcane's fucking amazing. I'm still gonna say that. Everybody needs to watch it.
You should watch Shang-Chi. It's
and then
animated.
I will at some point.
Speaking of Marvel, we got an update from Kevin Feige today, which I thought was awesome. He confirmed that if/when/ I'm being a coy boy, Daredevil comes to the MCU, he will be played by Charlie Cox of Netflix's Daredevil, which is exactly the right answer.
I mean, that's cool because he was a good Daredevil.
He's gonna be in Spider-Man.
That would be awesome.
He's gonna be in it.
I
bet money on it.
I want to pay someone. I want to pay. Here's what I want to do. I'm gonna be 100% real.
Okay.
I would pay someone at Marvel to take half the characters out of Spider-Man. I'm telling you right now, the biggest problem with Spider-Man 3, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3, is there were too many characters, and they did not do a good job at developing many of them at all.
I like the first 2 ones.
And there's like 6 times as many characters in this movie as in that one.
I disagree with you. I do.
That's awesome. I'm glad you do.
But the reason I do is because I feel like we said the same thing about Infinity War and Endgame and some of the villains that were introduced there. And I think the reason that this could work is because there isn't a ton of like exposition that needs to happen. We already know what all these characters' deals are.
No, we don't. Kind of. We kind of do, but like
because a lot of the spend half a movie on it.
And I will also say I only know like maybe 3 or 4 of the characters that are going to be in this because I've not looked at anything about this movie because I know I'm going to watch it.
I didn't watch the second one, so
because
what's going on?
Because I am a like Superman, Spider-Man, like those are my 2 favorite superheroes. Like I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. So I don't need to see everything because everybody gives away everything in all the trailers. So I haven't seen any of the trailers for this movie at all.
Who do you know that's in it? I'm not gonna tell you who's in it.
I know Doc Ock is in it. I know people are saying Electro is in it. I know Green Goblin is in it. I know Sandman is in it.
Okay.
I've heard people talk about rumors that like Mysterio is in it and Scorpion is in it or whatever. And I know Doctor Strange is in it.
Well, that's kind of
yeah.
obvious.
Yeah. But like that is already many more.
Well,
characters.
and they've already given away way more than they should have about this movie. Like they have talked way too much in advance about what is happening here.
While I was away, like the only TV we had commercials, and I saw a commercial for it, and I literally said out loud, "I think I just saw the whole movie."
Yeah.
Like they've shown me so much.
I don't know what is going to be there that we haven't seen. Like,
and
I mean, obviously, but like,
yeah,
you know.
But like this is just kind of like the way that I don't like the way that modern trailers are made.
Me neither. I hate trailers. Are my least favorite thing in the.
When I was young, trailers were great because it was just a little tone piece. It was just a like. What, you disagree?
Yeah, I do, because I used to think this, and then Disney Plus came out, and Movies Anywhere came out. And there's so many movies that like I love that their original trailers are like it could be like Bruce Wayne is a bachelor, but he's also the Batman, and he defeats the Joker by pushing him off of a cliff. Like, and they go through like the entire plot of the movie, and it's like,
well, I didn't see that movie until fairly recently.
No. But like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, there are trailers out there that from like the 90s and 80s that are way worse than what we have now.
But like
it's still not great.
But there are whatever.
I mean, I'm thankful we're past the Blom thing.
Oh yeah, we're past Inception
for the most part.
No, now it's become, let me take this song and make it a like slow
and do the like
bum
bum bum with the like. With the percussion, yeah,
and people getting punched.
Anyway, the fucking point that I was trying to make is that like a lot of movies, it would be like movie trailers that I remember from when I was a kid. It would be like, you know, like what was it, like the trailer for First Kid with Sinbad, where it was like you get the setup for the movie. He's a Secret Service agent. The president's kid likes to get into trouble. Sinbad is not a great Secret Service agent, and they get into hijinks as they're running around. That's the setup for you get the setup, you don't find out, oh, does he fight some fucking international conglomerate that's trying to assassinate the president and the kid helps or something. Like, you don't know anything else about that.
Yeah.
Or like the Goonies. Like, you get like certain little moments of like, this is kind of what this is like. It's like little kid Indiana Jones. You don't know anything about Chester Copperpot or the fucking, you know, whatever. You don't see, I don't remember if you see Chonk in there or anything like that. But like, you get like an idea of like, this is what these characters are like. You see like the Truffle Shuffle or whatever. And then you see like them trying to like get out of scrapes together. And that's it. You know, it's not like, here's what happens. Oh my God, here's the terrible twist that, you know, and the thing that like, cause like already, like even just with like the first establishing trailer of this movie, like I don't know. I feel like that was like okay, but then they're just like, and here's another one, and here's another one, and it's just like, just give me one trailer.
It gets to a point where it's like, all right, like you've now gotten rid of every big reveal that you could have given me.
Yes.
During this movie.
Like if people watch all the trailers and then go see the movie, what percentage of the movie have they do they not know about? And I want as the smallest amount of information that you can give me to get me interested.
Yeah.
It's like the thing that we had with Bethesda's first standalone showcase. They were like, "Yo, Doom's coming back."
Yeah.
And it's out in like 6 months. And you're never going to see anything about it from here on out until the game's out. And in fact, we're gonna not send review codes out because we don't want people to know about it.
Yeah.
But like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they should do that.
Force Awakens did a very good job with this. It was one of like my favorite first trailers of any movie, because not only did it have just like, these are the characters that are in it, visually this is what it's going to look like, but it also had shit that just straight up wasn't in the movie in it.
Yeah, they've always done that.
Yeah.
And which is funny because then, everyone gets like, oh, they make all their like fan theories based on these things.
Like, huh.
And it's like, that's not even going to happen. Like I remember even when the Last Jedi trailer came out and they have the like,
I was just going to mention that one.
Yeah. They have the scene at the very end where he reaches out his hand and stuff. And you're like, these two scenes are not together at all. Like the lighting is similar and it's edited to make it look that way, but like the lighting is not correct in both, like, to convey both these scenes. It's like this is more like a tone of like what's going to happen, or it's just like a little trick or a tease. And yes, that scene does kind of happen in the movie, but like it's different. Like they've edited it in a way that is different. But then there's also Rogue One where like most of that footage is not in the movie because they reshot a lot of it. But
before we move on from that, one of my favorite moments from the last Jedi trailer is when Luke says, "This is not gonna go the way you think," and he was right.
He was absolutely right.
And then the fucking Rise of Skywalker trailer gave away fucking all the things, and they definitely should not have.
I still haven't worked up the nerve to watch Episode 9 again.
I haven't seen it.
Don't bother, dude.
Since I saw it the one time.
Yeah,
that movie sucks.
I laughed.
I have friends
at the beginning of that movie.
I have friends who, like, when we came out of it, they were like, "Oh, I loved it," and then me and a few other people were like, I was like, the thing I said immediately after was that was my least favorite Star Wars movie, and they're like, of the sequels. I'm like, no, I mean like of all of them, ever. Yeah. Anyway, we don't have to be on this topic forever, but I just realized it's 45 minutes in and we haven't really talked about video games.
I was just thinking about that as well.
I was like, oh yeah.
We talked a little bit about.
I don't even know how we got
Fortnite
here. I guess that is a video game. We talked about Marvel's Avengers very quickly. That's also a video game. So I guess you're right. We sort of talked about video games.
Wait, I got one more.
Oh yeah.
Before we get into Halo, what'd you think of that Spider-Man trailer? The Into the Spider-Verse, or Across the Spider-Verse, I should say. Did you see it?
Not seen it.
Wow,
I didn't watch
good for
it yet.
you. They don't give much away at all. It's basically
I'm sure.
It's just like a visual feast, really.
I almost don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna just go in, Sure. Like, Spider-Verse is just like, I still think it's probably the best comic book movie ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's near perfect, I would say. I'm just gonna go in. I'm like, we'll go in. We'll see what happens.
Word.
Yeah.
I don't need to see trailers. I'm sure I will. But
I mean, same thing about No Way Home. It's a Spider-Man movie. I'm gonna see it. I don't need to see anything about it before I see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't like intending to go blackout on it, but it's one of those things where like when a new trailer comes out for something that I know that Audrey and I are gonna watch together, I'll like take the trailer to her and like we'll watch it together for the first time. And we've just been so busy like potty training Riley that like we just haven't done it.
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of like, whatever. We're gonna watch it. We both love Spider-Verse, so we're definitely both gonna watch it. So
yeah,
word.
I'll watch it whenever it's out. I'll go see it. Anyway,
how's that Halo?
It's so good, you guys.
Yeah,
it's so good. Oh, before we get into that, I did want to say something. Like, we talked a long time ago. We've talked about fighting games and my love of them. I started playing fighting games again, like renewed, before we started playing this show. But I've talked about BlazBlue a lot on the show, just like over the years. And Arc System Works came out with a surprise reveal at the end of the CEO competition that just ended yesterday. And they revealed that BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle and BlazBlue Central Fiction, which is the latest mainline entry in the series, are getting rollback netcode, which is incredibly good. So this is the same type of netcode that Guilty Gear Strive has, which lets me play with people all over the world and have it basically be like they're in the same room. I can play this game. Now, Wi-Fi warriors are frowned upon in the fighting game community. Ronnie Barrier lives in the greater Houston metropolitan area. He and I were both playing on laptops on Wi-Fi with each other, and it felt like we were in the same room almost. Like I'm telling you, rollback is like the way. And
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it, and BlazBlue is on sale right now to celebrate this. So if you want to play BlazBlue, go pick up BlazBlue Central Fiction on Steam, and it's got the rollback beta is started now, so it's available now. Later tonight, I'm actually going to be playing some BlazBlue with Ronnie, and potentially some other people. So I'm really excited about that. It is another game that's whose legacy is way more secure now, because even though the player base has been pretty small for these and it's kind of dead, there was a huge spike after the news, even before the rollback was implemented. So like people care about this. And it means that now you can play BlazBlue with people all over, which is great.
How long till like Mortal Kombat gets that?
Probably the next entry.
I would say is one of the other. Did you say in the next century?
No, next entry of the series. They won't do it.
I was
for
like,
11
Jesus.
Ultimate at this point, but
probably not.
Because I think if they would have, they probably would have done it when they did that next gen port. But like at this point, I don't know. I don't know how many people are actually playing that game. I mean, I'm sure like the Mortal
a lot.
Kombat
I think it's one of the bigger ones. I mean,
Yeah.
Brian can correct me if I'm wrong, but from the outside looking in, I always assume that Mortal Kombat's still really big.
Yeah.
It's pretty popular, yeah. It's one of the bigger ones. I don't like it, but it's just
I
it's
always
a
play the
speed thing.
stories, but I never get into the online stuff. But
I was just talking to a friend of the show, Will, former guest host, Will Berger, about that, and I was just like I just can't with the how realistic all the people look now and like the graphic gore and stuff. It just
You're not the only one.
It repulses me. I wish you could turn it off, because I would give it a legit like fair shake.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
Just playing Justice.
I just can't.
Yeah,
I tried. It's too slow.
It's a different style of fighting game too that you're not
different.
a fan of.
Yeah, like if
I played Injustice 1. I never tried Injustice 2.
Yeah, but you also played Injustice 1 before you started playing Dragon Ball, because it didn't exist yet. Like
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, like when I think I went back to play Injustice 2 after the Ninja Turtles dropped, and I think at that point Dragon Ball had already been out, and I remember being like, I can't even do this. Like,
yeah,
it's so slow.
I just am not a fan of that
Injustice
kind of fighting game anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. That was the game that I played before Dragon Ball.
Hell yeah, Harry. Just play Nickelodeon's All-Stars Brawl. They just added alt costumes.
Shut up.
It's like,
does that have voice acting yet?
Shut up. You don't need it.
It probably never will if it doesn't
won't.
right now.
Nah,
right?
No, it won't. It won't. Okay, so it came out in... Okay, interesting. So Injustice came out April 16th, 2013, and Persona 4 Arena Ultimax came out in North America on September 30th, 2014. So Persona actually came out... Actually, you know what? Persona 4...
No, you need the regular one.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out...
Harry, they already got new alternate costumes. That update already dropped, son.
Okay, 2012. So I did play Injustice after Persona 4. So then I pivoted over, played a bunch of Injustice, and then after Injustice, I guess it was... When did Central Fiction come out?
I couldn't tell you the last fighting game I played, to be honest. But probably Smash.
Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl.
I didn't play that. Although I did play Street Fighter 4 or 5 when they gave it away on PS Plus. I played it a little bit.
Street Fighter 5 is a very good game. I'm just not good at it.
I used to be good. I was pretty good at 4 for a little bit.
Yeah.
Never mind. BlazBlue Central Fiction came out in 2015, November 19th. So that would have been the latest one that I played before DBFC. So it would have been it would have been Persona 4, Injustice, and then come back to Arc Sys.
Wait, and that's the one they added rollback to?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Steam version is getting rollback, and then the BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which is the one that has characters from
Oh yeah, I have that one.
Under Night in Birth and Persona 4 Arena and BlazBlue. That one is getting rollback on PC and PS4.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and I think I have that one. I think I bought that one somewhere.
That game
I don't know.
didn't grab me.
No,
Clearly.
it's not. It's not good, and it's not BlazBlue. But that might be the only way that I'll be able to play the Persona, any variation of the Persona game on PC. Because you can play Cross Tag Battle and play I can play Yu Narukami in that game. It's just not the same.
RPCS 3.
Or that. But anyway, let's get out of here, Chewy, and talk about some Halo. So if you don't want to know literally anything about Halo Infinite, I guess should we plug and then do the thing after?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do our outro, and then we're gonna get into Halo Infinite. We're gonna begin the Halo Infinite talk with just my kind of review and overall impressions and thoughts about it. And then after that, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will get a little bit more specific with specific elements. So like mechanical spoilers a little bit, and like just kind of like story elements and like kind of what I thought and where things were weaker and stronger and stuff like that. I'm still going to try to stay vague because I know this is huge. Like Halo Infinite, it's a big deal. So I want to be sensitive to what people want to hear. But yeah. So thank you, everybody who doesn't want to hear about Halo. Thank you for joining us for episode 209 of The Platformers. If you want to check us all out, you can find us all at PlatformersPod on Twitter. You can find me specifically at Ribnax, RIBNAX.
You can find me on Twitter at TheJawaJosh, and if you want to see the cool video essay stuff I'm working on, you can go to youtube.com/mediaismythic.
You can find me at Shrives93, and that's it.
If you want to check out the stuff that I've been up to all week during the review event, the Halo Infinite complete wiki guide and walkthrough will be up on IGN on Wednesday. So yeah, check it out. I went through and found all
literally everything.
The team there, and we found all the things. So it was hard work. Let me tell you, I worked very, very hard. So if you were going for 100%, I have done that work for you. So I hope that you enjoy. We record each episode live on Twitch at twitch.tv/theplatformers twitch.tv/platformers podcast, and is archived at youtube.com/platformerspod.
You're right. That's
did
it.
I say? Yeah, that's it.
All right, no. Twitch.tv/platformerspod and youtube.com/platformerspod and anchor.fm/platformerspod.
Yes, and we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and I think we're still on like Stitcher and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's all part of Anchor. It's all through that.
All that sort of stuff. So everybody, thank you so much for checking out the show, and I hope that you have a wonderful week, because until next time, we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite now. So dip if you don't want to hear. So let's get it started. Guys.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like having a good Halo game in the first time since Halo Reach?
It feels so fucking good, you guys.
Yeah.
Halo has not been, in my opinion. So if you watched our episode 200 and you watched like the lead up to that, like, you know, my top 20 games, you know that Reach is like my favorite Halo game. This is my favorite game since then. And I think that the games where the game's story, the game's mechanics, and the multiplayer suite have all hit really hard for me were Halo 3 and Reach. Those are the two that like really sang for me. Halo 4 was like almost there. I really liked the multiplayer. I thought the story was pretty interesting, but a lot of the enemies were like really annoying to deal with, those little flying fuckers. Yep. And like all that sort of stuff. The enemies were a little bit too bullet spongy. I did not like that. There were like there were some gripes with it, and like then the story started going in like a weird direction, and then in 5 5 was one of those situations where like the gameplay was like super great, and some of the multiplayer was great, but the story was just trash. It was not good. The thing that sucks is that there was so much promise. Like Halo 5 could have been my favorite of all of them, if it had stuck with the what is it? Fight for the Truth or Search for the Truth, like the campaign that they were doing. That
I mean,
really
the
made
marketing campaign behind that game was better than the game itself.
Yes,
is what it comes
and
down
if it,
to.
yeah, and like I listened to that podcast that they had with Keegan Michael Key, where he was like the reporter or radio host or something who was trying to dig into what was going on with Master Chief and Locke.
Yeah.
And like all of that stuff was amazing, but then in the game it was not good.
Yeah.
And Halo Infinite delivers on all fronts. There are like I wouldn't give it a 10. Ryan McCaffrey at IGN gave it a 9. I would probably agree with that. Depending on the mood that I'm in, I might, if I was doing it on a 20-point scale, I might go down to 8.5. I might go up to 9.5, depending on how I'm feeling. And I really need to. My next thing that I want to do is once I actually regain access to the game, because it was this huge review event and all that sort of baloney. But once I go back, I want to play through the game just as a game and not as somebody who's trying to do everything.
Yeah.
And just see how I feel on revisit. But right now, it's definitely top 3 Halos ever. Might be top 2 Halos ever for me. I don't really think, other than a few things that I have qualms with as far as the writing and what they decided to do with specific characters. One of the main characters I just don't really care as much about as I think the game wants me to. But there's a lot of stuff that I felt even Halo 2 didn't get right that this game gets right. And a lot of the ways that the game is structured and the kind of weight that it gives to certain encounters and different things like that, and the focus that it has on story, I think is really impressive. It also, one of the questions that Will asked earlier was did they, and it kind of seemed like he was half joking, did they fix the garbage fire that was Halo 5's story? And kinda there's this game is a make good in a lot of different ways, and I think that
it has a lot of heavy lifting that it has to do.
And they kind of did it. It's I will tell you, it's kind of ridiculous how much you can tell. As a critic, I've learned over the years to be able to suss out what the developer is trying to do and what they are trying to say and to convey. And it's almost absurd the degree to which 343's kind of voice comes through in this game, and how much the voice and the spirit of this game is, we know.
Yeah.
We learned. We really learned. And it's not easy to do what they did, even just with the multiplayer and the gameplay. It's not easy to make a game that feels as good as Halo Infinite does. And if you've played the multiplayer, you know this game feels great. This is one of the best feeling shooters ever, I think. Right up there with the original Titanfall and I don't know what else you want to put on that list, but it feels great. It feels really, really great. It's it's kind of like a greatest hits of Halo 1, boots on the ground. You don't need to sprint, but if you want to sprint, you can, like Halo 4. And there are little things that come back that I'm not going to spoil, that are pretty freaking cool.
Would you say and I don't want an example or anything or like some crazy
Okay.
like in-depth thing, but like
Sure.
how much of a benefit would it be for somebody who like maybe you haven't played Halo 1 or 2 either since their original releases or since like the Master Chief Collection's original releases or something like that. Like it's been a number of years. How much would somebody who has played it, let's say 5-10 years ago, one of those games 5-10 years ago, versus someone who just played Master Chief Collection last year, do you think that there's like enough like nods to older games that are in there that like they're not going to pick up on, or is it stuff that's like like I know he has the line of like I need a weapon, or giving the Covenant back their bomb, like stuff like that. Like how much of it is there for, or was there for you at least? Was it a lot, or was it like
I guess what you're trying to ask is like how fan servicey was it?
Yeah. And is it peppered throughout, or is it like just when you're like getting going and then like it kind of like makes a name for itself?
It's interesting. Like I think there is a little bit.
I mean, if you don't know how to answer, you don't have to answer.
You also don't have to answer if you don't.
I'm gonna try to be as like top level as I can be.
Yeah.
With this. In the story, I don't think there's that much of that.
Okay.
There's not much of that.
Like plot wise, there's not much of that, but there are moments like that.
No, yeah. As far as the specific stuff that you were talking about, there's not a lot of that.
Yeah.
This game is actually like fairly sincere. And like not like it's not super campy.
Okay.
Like it's not like that so much. Because like if you've played Halo 4 and Halo 5, like the universe is not in a great spot
right
after Halo 5.
Right.
And so like being, Halo Infinite is not as cavalier as like the earlier games. As far as like kind of rah fan service stuff, you do get more of that in like the open world stuff. But it's just like combat barks and stuff, and like other people, like generic.
Hey, remember that one time in Halo 2?
I mean, it's
I do remember that.
This is like the Scarab in Doom Mombasa.
I'm just joking.
And it's not like that. It's not like that. I mean, there are like I will say, the little ambient dialogue in this game is very good.
Nice.
But like as I'm just talking about generic fan service, not specific references. Sure. Like there is some kind of, generic like, oh, you're so awesome, Chief. Oh man, the Chief is here. We can do it.
We're gonna be okay.
That sort of stuff. And I kind of, oh shit. My alarm just went off. It's time for us to start recording the show, guys.
Oh my goodness.
We're doing it early.
Yeah. But there is some of that, like in a way that like felt very like, yeah, I get it. Like I get it. The Chief is great. Like I don't need that. But like as far as like specific stuff and like references and callbacks to like the early stuff, there is some of that. Mm-hmm. There is some stuff like it pulls from everything.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think Halo Infinite is the most concerned that you are familiar with the Forerunners arc. Not
from Halo 4?
From 4 and 5.
Okay.
Oh.
Halo Infinite, like
yeah.
in the
thought the same.
but like, but
Do you fight a lot of those enemies?
Like the Prometheans,
Like the Prometheans
and stuff?
and all that?
Do you want me to answer this question?
Are they rampant throughout the game?
Do you want me to answer this question?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
Because I can answer this question definitively right now, but I don't know if you want me to.
Well, I mean, the answer is yes. Then
yeah.
I
I mean, not necessarily, but
you don't.
well, that makes me a lot more excited.
That makes
'cause
me
I
a
never
lot more
really
excited.
I never really liked them that much.
Like every time I've tried to revisit Halo 5 and I've tried to that first opening mission, it's like it's them and there's some Covenant there.
But
man, I hate fighting those things.
Let me put it this way. If you don't like fighting Prometheans, you are really going to like Halo Infinite.
That's great.
Sick.
So.
I like that.
Sick.
Sick, bro.
Sick.
Yeah.
Fucked them.
So do you have any other questions?
I do. I'm trying to remember what the one that I had was. I think Halo Combat Evolved does a very good job at, especially, so the second mission of Halo Combat Evolved, when you first land on the Halo ring, does a very good job at inspiring this sense of like awe and wonder and like, you know, mystery of like, you know, you land on this Halo ring, you're not really sure what the deal is, then you go into like the catacombs of it and all that. And I think part of it was because we had never played a game like that at the time. Mm-hmm. Do you have those types of moments in this game? Where like are there more like slower, somber moments in this game, or is it basically just like at the pace at which you take it, given the space that you're in? And I mean, how much of this game is like that opening? I feel like the majority of this game is going to be like that mission, basically, in Halo 1.
Yeah, a lot of it is like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the other. Sorry, I remember the other half. How like does it have more of a tone of like desperation of humanity versus just you being on a space adventure exploring this ring?
It's kind of both.
Okay.
So yeah. And as far as like striking a somber, slower tone, there are definitely moments of that.
Yeah.
So it's not just rah space adventure, shoot everything.
Rah space adventure.
Run around. Run around, do all that sort of stuff. Like it takes time for itself when it needs. And then also like, because this is like the way that the game is structured is there are a set of missions and you can just go from one mission to the next mission by like, oh, hey, here's the next part of the mission. Let me hop in a Warthog and like run over there, or let me just sprint over there, or let me, fly over. Let me freaking hijack a Banshee and fly over there.
It almost sounds like the mission structure, and like I'm not even joking. Like it sounds like the mission structure is similar to that of like Forza Horizons, where like I
haven't played enough of that to be able to answer that.
So like Forza Horizon, if you're doing like a garage mission where like let's say you're trying to get like the 60s Volkswagen or whatever it is, you might go to like one part of the map and it's like a sprint race, and then it'll be like, oh, we just got word of whatever, and then you have to go to a different part of the map, and then like it's traditional like 3-lap race or whatever like in this thing. But you don't necessarily have to go to that mission. You can go do whatever you want. Yeah.
There are certain times when that's not the case, but mostly
that's how it goes.
And like there are certain parts that like you can't access again. But for the most part, yeah. There are certain areas that like you won't be able to revisit once you leave.
Oh, okay.
But there's not many, and the lion's share of it, like 90 to 95%.
You're on
of the
Zeta
game
Halo.
of the game is
Harry asks, and Harry, this may not be you may not get a definitive answer because of how Brian had to play this game. But how long would you say is the single player story? I know McCaffrey said
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I think McCaffrey said it took him 25 to 30 hours is what he expects most people to run it at.
Really?
If you like beeline it through.
That seems
excessive.
Very, very, very long.
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But it seems a lot for a Halo game.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
I think
Chris, you're right.
I could be misspeaking. I thought that's what
it is.
Said,
it's really difficult for me to answer that because I had to do everything.
Yeah.
And like, there's a big difference between doing everything when you have help figuring out where everything is, and it's another thing to like try to map something for yourself. Like it's going to take me a lot less time to drive from here to California than it was for the settlers to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that seems too long. I can't imagine that going from mission to mission would take that long.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I felt like it was about as long as the other Halo games. Like just thinking about just the missions. And the cool thing is like the stuff that you get by engaging with the open world is optional. Like you don't have to do any of that.
Right.
It just because like this is not an RPG. Like this is not a game where like Master Chief levels up and shit. Like when you like I can talk about specifically what doing open world activities gets you if you guys want to know that.
I know.
I didn't just get you access to like vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and weapons. And like weapon variants and skulls and things like this.
Are there weapons that are in the single player campaign that are not in multiplayer that we haven't seen yet?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
But they're just like variants of those weapons that have like additional functions.
Gotcha.
Basically, there are mini bosses, and if you take them out, you can get like a modified version of a weapon that they were using.
So Halo traditionally has been a benchmark for Xbox consoles. And it being like this is what this box is capable of doing. Given that this game scales to the length that it does and across as many platforms as it does, do you think A, were you impressed by its visuals? And B, do you think because it scales across so many generations, that is a hindrance on what the game could have been?
I'll answer the last question first because I played this on Series X.
Yeah.
On my 1440p monitor,
Mm-hmm.
actually, that I'm talking to you guys on. So I have not seen it in 4K. I've only seen it in 2K. It looks great. It looks great. Runs great. It's really, really good. I am really impressed with this game and how it looks and how it plays. Like,
does the campaign look better than multiplayer? Or is it about the same?
I'm trying. It's been so long since I played the multiplayer.
You were playing it like every day though.
Yeah, but dude, when you played 60 hours or something and you haven't done the other, like you know what I mean? Like it's I don't remember them looking any different. I remember the multiplayer looking really good.
Yeah.
Campaign looks really good. I'm impressed with it. I don't know what it looks like on like other stuff, but like if there is one thing I will say, it's that Microsoft and like the team at Xbox knows how to scale things pretty well. Like we found that out when we played Gears on PC, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, when it was just like, yo, holy shit, this game looks amazing.
Yeah.
And like I think that this kind of carries that forward. It didn't it's difficult to have the same. I guess I'll put it this way. One of the things that I find the most impressive in games is like how characters look, like facial animations and all this sort of stuff. That's one of the reasons why like I think Last of Us Part 2 looks so good or is so impressive. Because like it's all just people.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, there's like one person that you see, like really, you know what I mean?
Like not in armor.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And like you know, like you see like digital like holographic projections and stuff. You know, like we've seen
you see Halsey and Cortana. And the
exactly. But it's not the same. So like, I don't really know how to measure that. I definitely think that it looks really, really good. I don't know if it is as much as a visual showpiece as Forza Horizon 5, but like racing games are pretty much always the best looking games.
Yeah.
On consoles.
I mean, I think what's weird for me is I don't think Infinite, from what I've seen of it, looks bad by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it looks good, yeah.
But I think and maybe it's just because I was younger. Like I remember growing up when Halo came out and when Halo 2 came out. Like every time one of them came out, it was like, this is the new bar that people need to reach. And from what I've seen of Infinite, I don't feel that way. I feel like it's like, this is what I expect Halo to look like on this system. Or at least I expect it to look a little bit better. Like, but I think it's because there are other games that the graphics are
like the point.
What's that?
Like the point.
Yeah, like you said, like The Last of Us or God of War,
yeah,
or things like that.
I mean, I think this looks better than God of War.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe people disagree, but like
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say the multiplayer does, but I also haven't looked at God of War in a really long time. So
yeah, if you haven't checked out God of War lately, like it's not.
Have you seen it on a PS5?
No, because why would I? 100%ed it on PS4.
60.
Why would I go back and play it again?
60
just
FPS.
to see it.
Just to see it and go.
60 FPS of the same shit that I've already seen before. Like, I don't know.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, okay. Yeah, it looks better than PS4 base model God of War.
Yeah.
But like, it's another thing is like, well, I guess this doesn't really count for God of War, but like, it's also an open world game in a huge world.
That's true, and I didn't actually consider that.
And open world games never look as good as like linear, very focused games because they can't. You got to use more resources on all the shit that's around you.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking shit ton of stuff in this game, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a very good point.
So I will put it this way. I was never disappointed with how things looked.
Yeah.
It's just too.
And I don't expect to be at all.
It's just too damn fun to play.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
That's what really matters, right?
Yes.
I've one more question.
And anybody in chat, if you've got questions, like hit Chris up. I'll answer any questions you guys have.
So you recently played Far Cry 6.
Yes.
And because of the open world nature of it, and the way that the elevator pitch of this game, I feel like if you were to compare it to a Far Cry game, and then if you were trying to give me an elevator pitch of a Far Cry game, they would probably sound very similar.
Yes, they would sound very similar.
But like, how similar is it, and which do you like more?
I'm probably not gonna play Far Cry 6 anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna play Halo Infinite again. Halo Infinite is not as long. It's not as, I don't know if it's as big. I feel like Far Cry 6 is probably bigger.
Probably.
And has more in it. Because that's like the point.
Yeah.
And for Halo Infinite, that's only part of the point.
Yeah.
That's like an element of it. I think that, you know what? I'm gonna make a different comparison. To me, this game, and I hope that this is illuminating. To me, this game is Arkham City, whereas previous games were Arkham Asylum. Like, this is the game where I was like, I am the Master Chief, and I'm gonna go where I want, and I'm gonna do what I want because I am John 117.
I have two.
And this is because the thing about the previous Halo games is you're on this giant, expansive ring world, but you are very focused. I have one goal, and that goal is they're incredibly linear games, which is a strength of theirs.
You could argue that they're just linear games.
They are exclusively linear games.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that you could do in those games is let's go do the thing. Let's do the mission. Let's do that thing. And it's just you in a very large hallway walking towards your goal, shooting things that come out at you. The thing that this game does is it does that, but it also, like I've heard a lot of people say about GTA, you can just jump in and fuck around and see what happens. Like you can just be like,
you can find out.
I just want to go shoot some elites and shit and grunts and all that sort of bananas. And you can just do it. You can be like, all right, I'm going to grapple up and hijack this Banshee, and then I'm going to go shoot a bunch of people that are at this base. And you can just do it.
Yeah, I think I'm very excited for this game to come out. If nothing else,
you don't have to wait long.
I know. If nothing else for it, the Twitter videos that we'll get from people of like similar in the same vein of like Breath of the Wild.
I have already seen shit that is ridiculous.
Yeah. That
we can't talk about.
I'm sure.
But yeah, so you said you had two questions.
I have two other questions because I lied to you before.
Did you like my Batman statement?
I mean,
because it looked like you nutted a little bit.
I nutted a little bit.
Okay.
Everyone knows how I feel about Arkham City. That game. Who doggy?
That's like everybody was like, yeah, Arkham. And I know we've said this before, but like I just want to reiterate for like people who are they didn't hear the old episodes. A lot of people are like Arkham Asylum was the best one. For me, not the case because you don't feel like Batman. In Arkham City, they give you the city. And you can run across rooftops and jump off and glide to another place and grapple up. And they put you in the role of Batman, and you're not hamstrung and stuck inside this hallway that you have to walk down. You can be the Bat and be the Knight and all that sort of shit. And this, for the first time, feels like I am a force of nature on this ring world. And if you come for me, you better not miss because I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. It's like... And that it feels really great. So, what were your questions?
How bummed are you that there's no co-op at launch? And what are the chances that you think when co-op does come out that you would ever actually go back and go like all the way through? Like let's say you just played 60 hours of it. You say you're going to do it again. What are the odds that you were like, I'm going to do this again with somebody?
100%.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, yeah, because Audrey wants to play it.
Oh shit, that's true. I didn't even think of that.
Way to give him a layup.
Yeah, I really did. God damn.
I will tell you this. Even if Audrey wasn't a huge Halo fan, I would definitely
push this on her.
I would definitely play this again.
Yeah.
Just myself.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I would love to play this there's some stuff in this game I am so curious to know how co-op works.
Yeah.
Like, and now that I've played through it, like, I get why co-op was delayed.
Oh.
Like,
wow.
because like, you can, I mean, I don't know. I'm really interested to see if there are any limitations on the co-op. Because like, there are certain games, like you've played like the Lego games, right? Where like, okay, you're on the same screen and then somebody walks over here and then the screen like splits and then you just keep going and doing your thing. Like, can I go anywhere?
Oh yeah, or is there like
Like-
a limit to
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
how far you can get?
Because this world is big, dude.
Yeah.
World is big.
Well, doesn't Destiny what they warp you eventually, right? If you get if you're in a
If you
strike,
get too far away, yeah, if you're
Yeah.
in a strike and you get too far away, they warp you.
but if you're in a public area,
They did that in Halo 1.
yeah, they did do that in Halo 1.
Yeah, if you reach a checkpoint, it would just teleport you to the other
Yeah.
person. And it was very disorienting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd be like, oh,
Where am I?
it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So I need to know. I need to know. And there's like some skulls and stuff that I missed in like areas that like I can't revisit that I want to get.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like I 100%ed this for work. Now I want to do it for fun. So
Cool,
also
man.
because
This
they're
is a-
wiping my progress. So
This is kind of two questions. So
sure, go for it, man. I got all the time in the world.
Given that this is called Halo Infinite, and they've said
Yes.
this is going to be Halo for the next 10 years,
Yes.
do you expect the expansions to be beyond just multiplayer based on what you've seen?
Yep.
And what would you want to see? Or can you not get into that because of spoilers?
I cannot talk about that.
That's completely fine.
I mean, I will tell you one of the, and this isn't exactly what you asked, but I'm going to say it. So Halo Infinite is called Halo Infinite for a reason instead of Halo 6.
Because he never stops talking about it.
Because they
Um,
got the
kidding.
machine that just keeps pooping these Halos out.
Um,
And they,
They
can
just keep
never
making
stop
'em.
it.
I,
He said no
343
idea how to respond.
no, I'm just trying to continue formulating my thought. 343 has done a very clever thing with Infinite. And I think that they should be proud of themselves because one of the biggest gripes with the games that they have handled is one, they didn't specifically Master Chief Collection didn't launch in a good state. Halo multiplayer, even the Infinite, even like the Alpha Flight was really good. Even though like, you know, it's got bugs and stuff like that, but like it's good.
It was
and
playable.
even technically now still in beta and it's real good. Like they nailed the launch, right?
Yeah.
Of the multiplayer. And other than progression stuff, like there isn't much to complain about, and they're addressing that already. Like they've already addressed it like in like 2 different ways, and I think they said there's more that they're going to do with it,
Yeah.
which is awesome. They have shown a willingness to learn and adapt to what the player wants. As far as the campaigns are concerned, one of the biggest gripes that people have been with the way that they have handled the story. And I think that this, not only does this show a transition to a more classically Halo method of storytelling than they've done in 4 and 5, but also one of the primary things that this game wants to do is fold the things that happened in 4 and 5 into a new kind of status quo while dealing with the things that happened. So it is absolutely a follow-up to Halo 4 and 5. But it is also kind of a make good on what they were trying to do while establishing a new baseline for what Halo will be in the future. And the way that they do that, although I think that there are like specific points where I think that similar to the way that I feel about like Captain Marvel, where like overall I think that's a really great movie. There are specific moments that don't really land for me. I feel the same way about this, although most of the moments that are supposed to land really do. And I think I like welled up at one point towards the end, which is like for a Halo game, like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But it sets the stage in a very clever way that like they very much know that they had to prove themselves to, I guess, earn the next 10 years. And I think they did a bang up job setting it up. So there is an element of like, there are two things that I'm anticipating in the expansions or DLC or whatever they call it, however they roll that out. There are two things that I know we're going to see. And that is based on like what goes on in Infinite. Like there are a couple of things that I know we're going to see. And there is a way that I think that moving on, Halo will continue to be kind of classic in its kind of flavor because of other stuff that happens in this game. So it's I think that people who wanted to see 343 really take a swing at old school Halo, both in the gameplay and in the multiplayer and in the storytelling, I think you're gonna like what you see.
Sick.
So,
well, color me excited.
Hell yeah.
I was way more detailed than I
already
was
excited.
anticipating.
No, but you did a very good job at not like. I don't feel like I'm like.
You painted me
I
a
can't
picture with
believe
your
he
words.
fucking told me that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You painted a picture very well. I appreciate that.
I hope
Without
so.
giving too much away.
I hope so. We've done this show for a while. I'd like to think that I'm getting better at this.
At doing that, yeah. A number of years ago, I would have asked you a question. You'd be like, well, for example, when the chief dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what?
When Cortana turns into a space monster.
When they go to the jazz club and Cortana starts tickling the ivories.
When they go to
They're like, wow. Who
When
taught
they
you
go
how
to
to play like that?
When they go to the gambling planet, and everybody's showered in gold, and then they free a bunch of horses, space horses. And she says, hey, even if we all die, it's still worth it because we liberated these horses that are on the cliffs just outside where they can just go get them and bring them back. God damn it.
You just don't understand.
You didn't liberate shit, Rose.
Let's get every cop and send them into the subways. Or send them into the sewers.
Yeah. Every cop.
You gotta get 'em.
Last one. We gotta find the trigger man. All right.
New order.
And give back to you.
The people. God. Plot holes.
Ugh.
It's not what a plot hole is, but okay.
No, I know. I just.
That's not. But that movie rips.
Cracked has ruined the internet. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyway, the fire
ruined
rush.
the discourse.
Oh! I wanted to say this. We're not gonna have our, as you know, the Platformers Game of the Year show happens like after the year is fucking over. What a novel idea.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
What a
same time
neat
as Game Awards.
concept.
Yeah, no. We're doing it in January because if we had done it by the time the Game Awards had come out, I wouldn't be able to put Halo Infinite on my short list. And let me tell you, Halo Infinite's on my short list.
Yeah.
So.
And I have that and at least 1.5 other games I have to play through that I want to play through that I know will be on my list.
Yeah.
I
So
need to like look through and be like, what even is on my
Oh shit! No, I have 2.5, 2.5 games.
what even is on my list? Who knows?
yeah, but that episode will happen sometime in January. We haven't talked about it, but like that's just how we do it. But yeah, I just wanted to say as like one final thing, like this absolutely goes up alongside like Hitman 3 and other games like that as like one of these is probably going to be my game of the year.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
yeah,
Like it's
so.
just I had so many moments this weekend where I was playing the multiplayer and Jess was playing Pokemon on the couch and I just kept looking at her and I was like, I don't know how to express to you how great it is to have a good Halo game again. Like I don't know how to express that feeling to you.
It's
She's like,
such a
you've been
weird-
telling me for days.
Yeah, she's
Shut
like,
up.
"You've said it 6 times today. I
Shut
don't
up,
care.
honey.
I can't
I'll
even
take
watch
the-
you play this. I get nauseous."
Do you and Jess ever just yell divorce like jokingly at each other? Because
No.
Cole and I do that all the time. Anytime there's like a minor thing, like yeah, well I don't like pickles. Divorce.
yeah.
Harry
I feel like she's like shut up, divorce.
divorce. Harry in the chat just said resolution for the platformers, everybody go use the GG app. I did start using the GG app.
I have been using
Is
it.
it-
Ryan
is it
won't
basically-
shut up about it?
Is it basically letterboxed for games? Because I use letterboxed all the time.
I don't use Letterboxd, so I
don't know what
can't
that
answer
is.
that question.
Yeah, I don't know what
Like
that
you
is.
you review stuff.
I
You
do
review
review
movies.
stuff.
So
And then
if
write
fucking
like a little
funny.
thing.
yeah, it's like Untapped. If you've ever used that for beer, or you've ever seen that for beer,
So
it's all the
so
same crap.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if Harry,
I
Harry
like-
might
I like
already follow me on
I like
this.
letterboxd though.
Yeah, but you can find me on the GG app at ggapp.io/ribnax, RIBNAX.
Harry says it's exactly like Letterbox.
Okay. Then maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll get it soon because I use letterboxd all the time. Like almost everything I watch, I put on a little
There,
review on there. A little 1-sentence review.
There, I'm linking you in the platformers
movie
chat. I'm linking
stunk.
you guys to the thing.
No, I always just leave like I always try to make it funny. Even if whether I like it or dislike it, I just write something really dumb.
But one of the things,
Or if it's like one of the best movies ever made, I'll just be like, yo, this is one of the best movies ever made. It's freaking great. But most of the time it's like just something really stupid or I'll say like, oh, this, the premise was dumb, but I had fun. It's like it'll be just dumb stuff like that. Some people write their like dissertations on there and I'm like, nobody's reading these.
you don't even have to review them. Like you can just use it to be like, okay, here's what I'm playing. Here's what I want to play. Here's what I beat. This sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, you
use
can do
it
that too, I just don't do
primarily.
it.
I use it primarily to like make lists. So like
I don't do
when
that.
when I play a game, I want to keep track of like, hey, here's the games that I've worked on the guides for. So that if somebody's like, oh yeah, what have you done? I don't have to like try to remember. I can just go like, okay, here's all the games that I've written guides for IGN. Because like I'm proud of that, So like I do that, and then like it makes Game of the Year like really easy because I've got lists. Here's the games that I beat this year. Here's my favorite games of this year. This sort of thing. So it's when we pull up for the Game of the Year episode, I'm just gonna do my favorite games of 2021 and just look through there and be like, all right, which one is the best? Boom. So it's really, really easy to use. It's really, really good. IGN has something like this that's coming out soon. I'm really excited to check that out. But we'll see what that is.
I was sitting here like, I can't believe I don't have anything that I played this week. I know what I played this week. I beat Mario Galaxy again on the Switch.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Cool.
Cool. Well,
Live your
anyway,
dream.
Yeah.
that's all I had. If nobody else has any other Halo Infinite questions, we can dip.
No. Say bye to Linguini.
Bye, Linguini.
Goodbye, cat.
Hey.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the show. We already did the outro.
close, so
So,
Yeah.
peace.
That's it.
check you next time. Bye.
Bye.